this week is the 5-year, I don't know if anniversary is the right word, but 5 years ago this week is when COVID exploded all over the world. You know, during that time when it, I don't know, toward the end of 2020 or it might have been in 2021, we figured out a way to adapt and we moved classes outdoors and we created these gigantic plastic pods on casters. We were safe and we found a way to endure and keep moving forward, and in just such crazy worldwide circumstances where more than 3 million people lost their lives. It's really kind of staggering when you think about it. And I started thinking about that time yesterday, and I remember at the time I started rereading Jerzy Grotowski. If you don't know, Jerzy, good old Jerzy. Towards a Poor Theater is one of his most famous books, and he was a very experimental Polish theater director. And some of his work really at the time inspired this book that I wrote soon after COVID, which was all about what's in the way is actually the way. Or another way of thinking about it is the things that we think are obstacles in life are really the things that you need to break through, right? So I went back just yesterday to look at some stuff, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. And I just want to read this to you because his theory about acting, I don't know, unconsciously, or maybe I was tapping into quantum information that's available to all of us. But I guess I was doing this unconsciously and realizing like, wow, somebody who I really respect, I guess I've been teaching in this way without knowing it. But his work was all about via negativa was the name of what he called it, which is called the negative path. And the negative path doesn't mean good or bad. It just means acting, in his summation, wasn't about acquiring a certain amount of skills. Of course, we have to have skills to understand the language or the architecture of doing a play or doing a movie. We understand that. That's like the world we're entering. But his whole philosophy was actors get in their own way by the accumulation of things that they have to then get rid of. So the via negativa was the negative path, meaning removing the obstacles that we often relate to in a negative way that we think hold us back, but actually, your kryptonite is actually your superpower, is the way I would say it. But you're having to get in touch with that thing as opposed to making that thing be the thing that's keeping you from, your potential. And I found that to be really powerful, especially during COVID and when I went back and reread it. And then I just read this yesterday and I thought this was so powerful. So he was asked this question, what was the work about? What did the work do? And he said, it gave each actor a series of shocks. The shock of confronting yourself in the face of simple, irrefutable challenges. The shock of catching sight of your own evasions, tricks, and cliches. Whoa, busted. The shock of sensing something in your own vast and untapped resources. Now that's something that I have been teaching forever because I have been a teacher of teaching potential. That beyond the blocks and the paradigms of how we see ourselves is this whole new world that's waiting for you to meet it. But boy, we have to break through the limitations that that all creators have about how we see ourselves. He's basically saying the same thing. Your vast and untapped resources. And then the shock of being forced to question why you're an actor at all. In other words, because some of those words feel a little bit dated, like something is doing you. You're a channel for something greater. You get out of your own way. You let your own knowing, which isn't the egoic part or the left brain part, something that already knows how to do what it has to do, can do it. He says the education of an actor in our theater is not a matter of teaching him something. We attempt to eliminate his organism's resistance to the psychic process. I love that they call actors organisms. This is so 80s. I love it. The result is freedom from the time lapse between inner impulse and outer reaction in such a way that the impulse is already an outer reaction. Impulse and action are concurrent. The body vanishes, burns, and the spectator sees only a series of visible impulses. Ours then is via negativa, not a collection of skills, but an eradication of blocks. That's what I've been doing for 30 years, trying to help us get out of our own way. And yet it's so beautifully constructed that you need the stuff that's in your own way, but instead of judging it, demonizing it, making it feel like you're missing something because you have it, we try to embrace it, get to know it, invite it to the party, let it in, show you how it can be released in a way that works for you. So it's a win-win. So thank you, Jerzy Kratowski, for that reminder. And thank you for, it was an inspiration for this book. So, okay, I hope that helps. And I think we have a lot to be really grateful for. We're all still here. We got through COVID, and we'll get through whatever this new world is going to throw at us, because that's what human beings have been doing since the beginning of time, adaptation.